I would be remiss if I didn't mention my favorite television show of all time is Scream Queens by Ryan Murphy. It was
Really?
only
Yes.
2 seasons. It was problematic and it still is. But
Uh-huh.
that show, I every
Uh,
Halloween, like every October, I rewatch both seasons every year because it's
Scream
just
Queens
I
was good.
it was so
I
good. Kiki
loved
Palmer's
that
amazing in it. You
show.
have Jamie Lee Curtis. In season 2, you
Oh
have
yeah.
controversial actress Kirstie Alley plays a predominant role. John
John
Stamos is in the
Stamos,
second
Like
yeah.
season.
John
Abigail
Stamos.
Breslin and Emma Roberts, like absolutely killing it in the
Star.
show.
Star
Like,
quality.
and the amount of fabulous gifts that have come out of that, of just Emma Roberts being Emma Roberts in that show.
And wasn't in Nick Jonas, right? Wasn't
Nick
Nick Jonas in it?
Jonas,
Yeah.
Taylor
Mhm.
Lautner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Great
gonna have to,
show.
I don't really remember specifics, but I mean, I definitely liked it. Yeah, sure.
It's a great October show. It's perfectly
Yes.
spooky, perfectly stupid.
So campy. It's
That
so
needs to
fun.
be. See, there's an example of Ryan Murphy moving on too quick.
Yeah,
Oh
true.
yeah.
Well, season 2 was bad. It was bad, but I
Mm.
like it.
But season one was so good.
It was good. I mean, Glee was great, and then it wasn't. It was great until it wasn't. Then it
Mhm.
Did you
was
watch
like
Nip Tuck?
Nip Tuck was one of the best shows. That's like,
I
and
watched
that
all of
to me,
it.
it was phenomenal. It was like,
To
I
this
think
day, in my mind, Famke Jensen is trans. I will always just be like, Famke Jensen is a trans icon. She was not born a cis woman. You can't tell me anything else.
I would have. She was literally. I mean, it was a great show, but Famke was like the highlight of the whole thing.
Mhm.
Like, there's
Mhm.
nothing better.
Obviously, it
Ava,
would have been great if we had a trans actress in that role, but Famke
Nip
Jensen did
Tuck
that.
was way ahead of its time. I feel like
Yeah.
it was way ahead of its time. It's like one of the best. There's a show you should go watch, Michael, if you haven't seen it. It's
Yeah,
Okay.
that
literally.
and that's also kind of one where if like you weren't there at the time, it still holds up.
I've seen episodes, and every episode I've seen, I've really enjoyed. It's one of those shows when I'm around a friend like you guys who loves Nip Tuck will put on an episode, and I always enjoy it, and I always leave thinking like, oh, I have to go watch that show. And then I don't know, I get on TikTok and I forget. It's the same with Always Sunny. So many people have shown me episodes of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and they're like, you would love this. Every episode I do, and I've yet to actually go and sit down and watch the whole thing.
Did
That's
you
another
ever
great show.
watch Popular, which was Ryan Murphy's first show?
I think I missed that. I
No.
think I might have been too young. But didn't
It's
it
with
have that blonde girl?
Leslie Grossman. It was
Yes.
Leslie Bibb. It's I forgot I forgot how many seasons. It was not many, but it was also before its time. I would go watch that if I were you.
I've
I
heard
love
very
me
good
some
things about
Leslie
that one.
Bibb.
It's like dark. It's just dark, but it's so funny.
Nice.
Anything else you guys want to cover before we wrap up? Everyone needs to, you could have to share where everyone can find you. Everyone needs to listen to your podcast, which is 3 days a week. It's a lot to do 3 days a week, right?
Yeah, luckily the episodes are bite-sized. So
Yeah.
we record twice a week, but it's because the news on social media happens so quickly. You have to be quick with the episodes because by
Mhm.
the time you wait a week, by the time you've made that episode, now we're not talking about that anymore. Everyone forgot about that trend.
I
Mhm.
know all about that.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
the housewives were all the same thing, and you're like,
Yeah.
sorry, everyone, this is coming out next week, and everyone's gonna, come at me and hate on me for 24 hours, but you're still gonna listen, and I apologize in advance because this is now completely old, even though it's recorded 4 days ago. It's
Can we
hard.
It
say,
is.
David, I would love to know like if you could dream cast a season of or like a spin-off of like Ultimate Girls Trip, like which housewives would make your Ultimate Girls
Yes.
Trip?
Whether they were on a trip or not, they could have already been on it. I would say definitely Rinna. I would definitely want Lisa Rinna there. I mean, she's already been on a girls trip, but Countess Luann, in the real world, is
Mm-hmm.
one of the most amazing people. She plays the game right. You never see her
Mm-hmm.
getting so dark on social media. She
Yeah.
never goes there, but she'll show up and do the job. I mean, there is no more job now because she's been fired along with the whole rest of the cast of Real Housewives of New York. But
Which I think was
Luann,
good.
I think it was time. Like
We needed a
Luann,
purge.
we needed a purge. Definitely Luann, definitely Lisa Rinna from the OC. Put that on pause. Salt
Okay.
Lake, let's pass. There's nobody from Salt
Nobody from
Lake.
Salt Lake, not even Whitney, not even
No.
Meredith.
If I had to pick anyone, it would be Meredith, because
Okay.
Meredith to me is so just interesting to watch, right?
Yeah.
Like she's just so,
Fascinating to behold.
yeah, she's just like she's a fast, just like it's authentic. She's,
Hmm.
but this is like the best of the best. So like Jersey, listen, I mean, she's problematic, and I'm not even sure I love her, but Teresa, I give it
Hmm.
Fair.
to Teresa.
She's
I
got
can
to
see
be
that.
there.
You got to give it to her.
Yeah.
Atlanta. I mean, Kenya Moore is my superstar from Atlanta.
Of course.
Hmm.
I guess if I had to pick one from each thing, which is apparently what I'm doing, I would go back to the OC and pick. I'm a Heather Dubrow fan. I'm a
I
Heather
actually love
Dubrow
Heather
fan.
Dubrow. I think Heather Dubrow was just too sane for the show. Everything she said just made too much sense. She was too
And
rational.
she's another one. I feel like, you talk about like it's real money, it's not fake money. We all know with Housewives, if you scratch below the surface, it's like you're totally broke, even though,
Yeah,
you're living way up. Like Heather and Terry have real money. So I
they
like
sure
that.
do.
Miami, what would I pick? Just because she's like, I would pick Larsa.
Really? Oh, I
Yeah.
couldn't watch it if Larsa was on it.
A lot of
Oh
people
no.
like
Give
a
me
lot of,
Lisa.
yeah, I think I'd pick Larsa. Just there's something about Larsa that's
That's
really,
fair.
and then I
You're
guess
certainly casting an unhinged and chaotic
I'm
season.
right. Like, and I think do we have, and then I guess, oh, I mean, we could, it's in the graveyard, but we could say from Dallas, I'm sorry, Miss Leanne Locken, people.
She was cute. I wasn't even mad about Leanne. She actually made me want to get cowboy boots again at the time.
She's
Ooh.
like, and she's lovely, and some people are nicer. And then I think from Potomac would definitely be Candace, not to bring it full circle,
Absolutely.
but Candace is really, she plays the game right. And I
Mhm.
think she in real life is much like smarter. Like she's in on the
Yeah,
joke. She understands the assignment.
she completely
She's
gets it.
right. She's not completely unhinged, people. Like she understands the job and she'll do it. And then when the season's over, she goes back to making music and the rest of her career. I think it's like, I
Being a
just saw on social,
businesswoman.
yeah, she just got a part, I think, in some other TV movie or some
She
movie just
did.
got,
We have a little bit of inside scoop on that, but I don't think I can share anything. But just know
Uh-huh.
it's going to be there's at least one moment in it that will be absolutely iconic, and you will see
Yes.
gifs of it forever.
will
Yes.
that be when the two of you appear in it?
I
No, oh my
wish.
God, no, we're cutting
Oh,
it.
I wish.
But as soon as she was like, "Oh, we're filming a movie," I was like, "Tell me everything that you can legally tell me."
Yes.
So that's that. I think those are
Okay.
all the, is that all this? Yeah, those are the ones that I would, there you go. That's my
That'll
girls
be an
trip.
ultimate girls trip if ever there was one.
We like covered it all, right? Well,
Uh,
listen, where can everybody find you? You guys can come back anytime. I could talk pop culture or social media trends all day with the two of
Yeah,
you.
literally, we could just
oh,
do this
thank
for
you. This
hours
was
and
so
not
fun.
realize the time
Seriously.
passed.
There's so
Yeah.
many other things I could get in. We haven't even scratched music, more TV, more movie. There's so many options, right?
Oh yeah.
It's so fun to be gay, isn't it?
Listen, I truly think so. I cannot imagine not being gay. I think it's just so much
Listen,
more fun.
Mhm.
Honestly, I do.
I know it's famously not a choice, but if I had a choice, I think I would still choose to be gay.
Yeah, this
Well,
is fun.
and what an
If you want to
interesting time
follow
to be
us,
alive.
you can
Sorry, go
find
ahead.
me on all platforms at Paris Nicholson.
And